all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Many of you will have waited over the course of yesterday for the culmination of the board meeting that was underway at the RBI. It turns out that the meeting, which was put under the spotlight after weeks of roiling tension between the government and the RBI, eventually lasted 9 hours. The carefully worded statement, which came late in the evening, helped put to rest the worst fears of a big transfer to the government from the RBI's balance sheet and an exit from the top ranks of the central bank. The most contentious of issues was that of the RBI's balance sheet. On this, the two sides have decided to set up a committee to review the economic capital framework, which governs the amount of capital that the central bank holds. No immediate change has been made regarding banks under prompt corrective action, but the Reserve Bank of India board said in a statement that the matter will be examined by its board for financial supervision. There were two more decisions, one on the capital norms under Basel and the other on restructuring of MSME loans. To read more about these, look up the story on the website. PTI has reported that there is likely to be an overhaul of the board of Yes Bank with promoters all in favour. There have been several high-profile exits from the board over the last few weeks. The latest exit is former Telecom Secretary R. Chandrasekhar, who has resigned from the board with immediate effect for personal reasons. GAIL India and Gujarat Energy Transmission have moved the National Company Law Tribunal seeking a rejection of ArcelorMittal's 42,000 crore rupee takeover plan for Essar Steel, saying operational creditors have been left out in the proposal. Jet Airways pilots have threatened not to perform additional duties from next month if their salary dues are not cleared by the 30th of November. Remember, the airline is flying rough weather at the moment, having recently reported its third loss in as many quarters. In international news, questions have been raised about the survival of the global automotive partnership of Renault and Nissan after the man responsible for the alliance, Carlos Ghosn, was arrested in Japan. The slide in cryptocurrencies accelerated yesterday, with Bitcoin falling through the $5,000 mark for the first time since October 2017. This amid speculation that increased regulatory scrutiny will prompt issuers of initial coin offerings to liquidate holdings. Bitcoin declined as much as 14% to $4,693, and it's fallen for 8 straight days now. US stocks fell last night, led by a sharp decline in technology stocks. The S&P 500 and Dow fell 1.7 and 1.6% respectively, while the Nasdaq declined over 3%. Apple shares dropped close to bear market territory yesterday on concerns that consumers are no longer lining up for its flagship product, the iPhone. The stock has fallen nearly 20% since the start of October. In fact, the FANG stocks all corrected, pulling the index lower. In Asia, the early risers have begun on the back foot, with all three losing ground in the initial hours. It's now over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Darshan. How's it looking today?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. The global cues as of now are looking weak. The SGX Nifty is indicating a downtick. Crude is up for the fourth straight session, and it was a mixed close for base metals on the LME. As far as stocks and news is concerned, watch out for Jet Airways. They have said that they plan to deploy planes on a more profitable and productive route. The aviation company is in active talks with investors for securing finance, and this is as per Bloomberg News. Yes Bank's independent director Chandrasekhar resigns from the bank with immediate effect for citing personal reasons. 2 Horizon Pharma patents on Vimovo arthritis drug are ruled invalid by the US judge, and that will benefit companies like Dr. Reddy's. Oil India board approves the buyback of 4.45% of the total number of equity shares in paid up capital at 215 rupees per share, and the aggregate sum for this is 1086 crores. PSP projects bags new institutional industrial projects orders worth almost 372 crores. Kridan Infra Singapore arm wins construction orders worth 195 crores. SRF pegs that the damage to its unit because of the cyclone in Tamil Nadu is 28 crores. And HEG board will consider a share buyback on November 26. In terms of bulk deals, Birla Mutual Fund sold in 1.26% stake in Talwalkar Better Value Fitness. The two new stocks in the F&O band are Jet Airways and PC Jewelers. They join Adani Power and Adani Enterprises, who already are there. In terms of brokerages, HSBC has initiated on Bajaj Finance with a target price of 3,000. They're saying they're riding high on the data analytics of the model of the company to create a differentiated business model. Goldman Sachs has upgraded GAIL to a buy from a neutral and raised the target price to 490 from the earlier 260, and they expect GAIL to have the highest earnings growth amongst their gas coverage sector. UBS has upgraded Ultratech to a buy from a neutral with a target price of 4,700 from 4,550. They upgrade due to strong earning growth and favorable valuations. And finally, Macquarie has initiated on Petronet with an outperform rating and a target price of 270. They expect Petronet to generate around $5 billion cumulative free cash flow by FY25. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you'll be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. That's all we have for you in this podcast. Remember, a lot of the stories that we've talked about today are covered in much more detail on the website, so do check them out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladiti Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.